Hey there, thanks for tuning in for the top 7 rock cuts of the week. And we've got a special one this time because all of these rocks are from my claim. And these are the ones that we're going to be taking a look at this week. As you can see, there's some cool ones, and we'll also see that there's some kind of familiar patterns on a few of them as well. But a lot of very interesting material here, so I'm excited to get into it. All right, so let's start off with this one. So from the outside, I wasn't sure. There was just something about it. So you can see it's got kind of a sheen to it where it's been tumbled a bit, and it's got a crust on it of the white there, which a lot of the stuff in the area does from when it was underwater at one point. It was really flat on this side. Some of the fractures looked kind of interesting, and I just thought that it might look cool on the inside. So let's go ahead and take a look. And that is so cool. Oh, that's so pretty. So we have some kind of characteristic Wonderstone bands there around some of the eyes, but then the rest of the rock is kind of an alternative color scheme Wonderstone. So we have some blues, which is why I called it a Blue Wonderstone, and then the background is kind of grays, and then the veins are filled in with that deep red, which then kind of branches out into the lighter pinks in the bands around those eyes. Let's take a little bit of a closer look here. Really pretty. We can see that the material also has some black speckles that are kind of going throughout, but the red veins are really pretty, and the blue is really nice, as well as the eyes that are kind of broken up as well. A really unique one, but it's really pretty. This is definitely a new favorite. Hopefully I find some more material that's like this. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. Okay, next up is this rock, and this is the side that was up when I found it. So I was intrigued because it was a lighter color, and then when I got it out of the ground, I saw that there was some interesting kind of patterns and colors going on. Those veins appear to branch throughout the whole rock, and you can see there's some red and some pink and some yellows that are showing through. So overall, it looked like there might be some interesting patterns going on the inside. So let's go ahead and take a look. And that is really cool and unique, and not what it looked like on the outside of the rock. So we have quite a range of colors here, starting from light tan cream at the bottom up into some lighter oranges, and then into kind of some purple gradients throughout the middle, and then it goes a little lighter at the top again, and then a couple random eyes in there as well, and some interesting stuff going on within the purple in terms of the banding and the patterns, as you can see here as we take a little bit of a closer look. Really, really unique. This one has this is another one that reminds me a little bit of a galaxy, and that little spot reminded me of a whale. Let's take a little bit of a closer look here. Just really pretty, and the color is very vibrant. I think this will polish up fairly well. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this rock. So from the outside here, you can see we've got interesting pattern on this side here where it's broken, which is why I picked it up, because the rest of it looks just kind of brown. Although there's some interesting pattern, and I think some of the brown color is actually in the rock too, as opposed to just being like a desert patina layer. But that's not what I thought initially. And that is really cool on the inside. So it's almost rainbow banded at the top there. But this, I think, is a rhyolite where it has been replaced by silica-rich fluids, and now is basically a microcrystalline quartz. That's my understanding, at least. But that's what I think is going on. Here we've got what looks like flow banding in the red. Really, really pretty. And some of that brown color from the outside does carry into the inside of the rock as well. There's some spots there too where maybe the silicification didn't fully go through. And I think that's actually the case with a lot of the rocks that I've found in this area. But let's take a little bit of a closer look here. Underneath those saw marks there is almost rainbow banded. All right, let's check out this rock. So from the outside already you can see there's some cool patterns and colors going on. Kind of a deep brownish purple to some almost light green going on at parts. This side of the rock, I think, is probably the side that was exposed to the elements. It looks a little bit more beat up. And it also looks like there's a streak of kind of small dotted material on the side here, on both sides actually. But let's go ahead and take a look at the inside here. And that is really pretty and unique. We see the purple brown kind of color down to a yellow, and then that material is kind of broken up by the lighter white to greenish material. And then you can see there's kind of a spray of smaller stones and pebbles that are almost sand grain sized that are sprayed kind of throughout the rock. So that's kind of interesting and unique. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other half, and you can see here I'm pointing at the small inclusions that we were just looking at and talking about on the other side, but really, really pretty. All right, let's check out this rock. So this one, you can see very dark coloration from the outside with a little bit of light showing through there on the top, but even it somehow looks to be a bit dark stained. And on the bottom, this is kind of cool. So you can see it's made up of a bunch of different stones, and this round one here kind of eroded a little bit differently than the materials around it. And so that's why I picked it up. I thought it would be cool to get kind of a cross section of how that might look. And I was not disappointed. The roundish one that we could see is that deep kind of brownish purpley color towards the bottom there. And let's take a closer look at the individual halves. I actually think the rest of the rock is more interesting than that particular one, because we have kind of an orangish, almost matrix that all of the small fragments of the brownish purplish rocks are kind of cemented in. And I'm not sure if that's secondary staining maybe from iron, but the result is quite striking and very pretty. A little bit of a closer look at the other side, but yeah, definitely was surprised a little bit by the inside of this one. Glad I picked it up. All right, let's check out this rock. So from the outside, we see a lot of the classic both Wonderstone colors and also Lahontan Jasper colors with the deep red and some of the white that we have going on there. So I was curious to see what it looked like on the inside. So let's go ahead and take a look, and that is really nice. We do have a little bit of both. Towards where the rocks are touching in the middle there, we have some of the more Wonderstone kind of streaked and banded pattern and coloration. And then we get into some of the deep red veins here. And let's take a closer look. So the stone itself looks like it's undergone some brecciation, and it's really, really pretty. I love the yellows and the reds and the pinks. Zoom in here so you can see just how rich and nice some of these veins are. Really pretty. And last but certainly not least, let's check out this rock. So this one had kind of a light pink exterior with a yellow brownish kind of layer of desert patina there that you can see. Those places where it's lighter colored along the cut are just where it chipped while I was cutting it. Here on the underside of the rock you can see probably closer to the true color. So let's go ahead and take a look, and that is really interesting. So it does maintain, I called it a swirled rhyolite here because the pattern is kind of chaotic. It's not uniform, and we have a mix of colors going from gray to white to pink. Towards the bottom here, we can see there's some orange and some little caves here that have some crystals going on the inside, which is kind of neat. And take a look at the other side here, and the same kind of thing going on here, but in terms of the stone, it's a very nice quality. And the pattern is interesting, though subtle. All right. Thanks so much for checking these ones out with me. I'm excited to see what else I find on the claim. Please let me know down in the comments what your favorites were or any thoughts you had. And if you're currently subscribed, thanks so much. And if you're not, please subscribe. If you made it this far, give the video a like, and I will see you next time.